Hello my dear students, myself Dr. Sanjay Chabra, Professor, Faculty of Land Governance, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. This session is related to BCom BBA LLB second semester, subject Financial Management, Unit 1, session number 5. This session is related with financial leverage and relation between operating and financial leverage. My dear students, in my session 4, I have discussed about operating leverage and what is leverage and operating leverage. Now we will discuss what is financial leverage. Financial leverage is related to the financing activities of the firm. The financial leverage involves employment of that source of capital which carries fixed returns as distinguished by the source of capital carrying variable returns. According to James C. Van Horn, financial leverage involves the use of funds obtained at a fixed cost in the hope of increasing the return to common stockholders. Thus, financial leverage indicates the firm's ability to use fixed financial charges to magnify the effects of change in EBIT, earning before interest and tax, on the firm's EPS, that is earning per share. It indicates to which the earning per share will be allocated with the change in EBIT. Here two important, EBIT and EPS. The financial leverage may be high or low if the proportion of fixed cost capital is high. A firm will have a high financial leverage, and if the proportion of variable cost capital is high, there will be low financial leverage. The financial leverage may be favorable or unfavorable. If the cost of borrowed funds is less than the overall return on funds, there will be a favorable financial leverage, and otherwise there will be unfavorable financial leverage. That is, if the overall return in is less than the cost of borrowed capital, the financial leverage is unfavorable. Now, financial leverage can be calculated with these equations. When EBIT is given for two or more levels of profit, then degree of financial leverage is equal to percentage of change in EBIT or EPS divided by percentage of changes in EBIT, same like operating leverage. And when EBIT is given only for one level of profit, then degree of financial leverage, that is DFL, is equal to EBIT divided by EBIT minus I. That is EBIT divided by EBT. I is not there. That is earning before interest and tax divided by earning before tax. Now, following three situations of capital structure may be therefore computation for financial leverage. Number one, when there is equity share capital and debt capital. When there is equity share capital and preference share capital. And third situation, when there is equity share capital, preference share capital and debt capital. We will discuss about these three situations, financial leverage. So first situation, when capital structure consists of equity share capital and debt capital only. In this case, if the EBIT, earning before interest and tax amount, remains constant and there is change in financial structure, the financial leverage can be computed with the help of this formula. That is, degree of financial leverage is equal to EBIT by EBT, earning before interest and tax divided by earning before tax. Now, second structure, when capital structure consists of equity share capital and preference share capital. So, when there is equity share capital and preference share capital is there in the capital structure of the firm, the dividend paid on preference share capital from EBT is made gross before calculating degree of financial leverage, because preference share dividend is paid only after payment of tax. Clear? I'll repeat that if preference dividend is paid, that preference dividend is paid on preference share capital from EBT, earning before tax only. So here preference share dividend is paid only after payment of tax. Then number third situation, when capital structure consists of equity share capital, preference share capital and debt capital. So if the capital structure of the firm includes equity share, preference share capital and debt capital, then first debt interest is deducted from EBIT, and then preference dividend after grossing up is deducted. So if all three are there, then from EBIT interest on debt is deducted, and then preference dividend also deducted before grossing up. Okay, so these are the three situations. Now, like as we discussed, characteristics of operating leverage, here also we will discuss about characteristics of financial leverage. So characteristics of financial leverage, three characteristics are there. First one, it is concerned with liability side of the balance sheet. Financial leverage concerned with the liability side of the balance sheet. It is concerned with liability side of balance sheet where different types of sources of capital are shown. Clear? Second, it is related to fixed cost capital. If there is no fixed cost capital, there will be no financial leverage. And third one, financial risk. Characteristics of financial leverage, financial risk. The financial risk of the firm increases with the presence of financial leverage. So three characteristics are there of financial leverage. Number one, it is concerned with the liability side of the balance sheet. Number two characteristics, it is related to fixed cost capital. And number three, financial risk. Now, this is all about financial leverage. It will be more clear when we will do practicals. And now we will discuss about relationship between operating leverage and financial leverage. Operating leverage, we can say DOL, financial leverage, DFL. Degree of operating leverage and degree of financial leverage. What is the relation between these two? Now, both operating and financial leverage are concerned with fixed cost. Operating leverage is present if there are fixed operating costs, and financial leverage is present when there is fixed cost capital. The operating leverage shows operating risk and financial leverage shows financial risk of the business. The objective of optimum capital structure is to minimize the cost of capital and maximize earning per share (EPS). The combined effect of different degrees of operating and financial leverage on the firm may be studied under these possible situations. Four situations are there. First situation is high operating leverage and high operating leverage and high financial leverage. It is a very risky situation for the firm. Only a slight decrease in sales and or contribution may affect the earning per share (EPS) of the firm to a very great extent. It shows a high interest outflow which is not commensurate with its earnings. As far as possible, this situation should be avoided. Which situation should be avoided? That high operating leverage and high financial leverage. This situation should be avoided. Then, number two, low operating leverage but high financial leverage. This situation indicates that the decrease in sales and or contribution will not affect the EBIT, earning before interest and tax, will not affect the EBIT of the firm to a great extent. In this situation, the firm accepts the risk of borrowing more debt capital for increasing its EPS to the maximum possible extent. This situation may be considered an ideal situation for profit maximization. High operating leverage with high financial leverage, that situation should be avoided. Now second situation is low operating leverage and high financial leverage. Yes, this is what we can say, this is an ideal situation for profit maximization. Then number 3, high operating leverage and low financial leverage. This situation shows a low proportion of debt capital in the overall capital structure of the firm. In this case, a high fixed cost exists which may affect EBIT to a very great extent. If there is only a slight decrease in the sales and or contribution margin of the firm, but this is possibly is already taken care of by the firm and on account of low interest burden. That is high operating leverage and low financial leverage. And the fourth situation, relationship between operating and financial leverage, if both are low, that is operating leverage also low, financial leverage also low. So in this case, the decrease in sales or contribution will only marginally affect the firm. This situation indicates that the management is overcautious. Clear? Management is overcautious and the firm is not utilizing its borrowing capacity properly and fully. That is why there is low operating leverage and low financial leverage. The management policy is not accepting the risk of having large component of debt capital in the firm's capital structure and does not favor the objective of maximization of shareholders' wealth in this case. So we have discussed about 4 relations, that is high operating leverage and high financial leverage, that is very risky and very, we can say, situation which one has to avoid. In our diagrammatic representation, we can say that relationship, first situation, operating leverage, financial leverage. Operating leverage high, financial leverage high, remarks avoid. Second situation, operating leverage low, financial leverage high, remark suitable, preferable, advisable. Number 3, operating leverage high, financial leverage low. Then here it means it will not make more changes. It can be taken into consideration. But situation number 4 again, where both operating leverage also low, financial leverage also low, then our remark is that it means the firm is not taking the risk of borrowing more debt capital. They are not going for maximization of shareholders' wealth, and that is also not, we can say, appropriate for the business, because to expand, for the expansion of business, low operating leverage and low financial leverage is also not advisable, because business usually it is based on the risk. Business usually is based on the risk, and business usually based on the fund, whether it is own capital or borrowed fund. But if a firm or if the owner of the firm has a low capacity of bearing risk, because we know that in business, if you want to earn, you will have to take risk. If you want to earn, you will have to take risk. But means business is based on the risk. But if that risk will be too high, then also it will be risky. We must avoid that very high risk. So in case of risk also, that should be within the parameter, within the limit of the owner. So we can go for the risk, but up to a certain extent. So in fourth situation, when you are not going to take a risk, your degree of operating leverage as well as your degree of financial leverage, both are low. That is not appropriate for the business. So these are the 4 relations between operating leverage and financial leverage. This is all about your financial leverage. So with this, we have come to conclude our leverage chapter, where we have discussed in last session leverage, operating leverage, and here financial leverage, a relation between operating and financial leverage. And as I said, third one is combined leverage. It is just degree of operating leverage multiplied with degree of financial leverage. So it is based on these two only, that is combined leverage. And in coming sessions we go for practical. This is overall about leverage. Thank you.